So in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know to sound good in OBS Studio. Because let's face it, audio is crucial for most videos. People will sit through a bad recording in terms of video, but they will not listen to bad audio because it's very, very hard. And let's start on the basics. You need a good microphone because if you have a good microphone and it's close to your mouth, this will sound insanely better than if you have like even a good microphone and it's away from you. Because listen to this microphone, when it's like this, it's completely different the way that you're listening to me right now and the way that you're listening right now. So having a good microphone and have it the closest it can be, the sound delivery will be so much better. Obviously, you don't need a microphone like this. There are cheaper alternatives that you can get that honestly, you don't need a microphone like this. You can get a cheaper microphone that will deliver the same audio quality or very close to it, and it's way cheaper than this. Having said that, if you need a microphone recommendation, let me know. I'll do a video on like what are the best microphones, the best bang for your buck, and where you can find them. So let's jump straight into OBS and get started. So here we are inside OBS, and the first thing that you need to take a look is the audio mixer. And the audio mixer and the sources, it's going to be the first thing that we need to make sure that it's correct. If you don't see the microphone that you want here, you can add a new audio source here, audio input capture. I already have one. So if you go to the properties, you just need to select the device that you want to use, and that's it. And you hit OK, you block it to make sure that you're not gonna mess with it. And then on the audio mixer, it will show all the audio sources that you have. So main camera is my main camera, and the Shure mic is this one. If you're not sure about which audio source are you using, you can lightly tap on the microphone, because then only that audio source will spike in the audio mixer. If you go inside this engine, you will see the advanced audio properties, and then here you have the name, the status, the volume, if you want to put some gain in it. This is the mono button. It's basically to combine the left side and the right side into a single audio source. Balance is if you want people to listen to you on the left side or on the right side. So this is not the OBS that I'm using to record. Let me pull it up. So here you can hear me on the left side, and then here you can hear me on the right side. And then the other ones are sync offset. This is where your camera, it's not synced to your video. So either the audio from the camera, either the audio from the microphone is too fast or the camera is too fast. So you can use this to sync and make sure that they both are in the same spot. And audio monitoring is for you to listen to what you're saying while you're saying it. So you can monitor what you're saying. This is especially good if you want to make sure that the audio sounds good, especially when we're doing the effects. So if you can put in monitor and output while we're dialing in the effects, that would be good. I'm just leaving this off because I'm recording and it would be strange. And then tracks are like inside the same video, you can have multiple audio tracks. So what I like to do is to leave everything on track 1, and then the other tracks, I will create one track per audio source. Why is that? Because like, let's say that you recorded the video that you just want you talking and not listen to anything that it's going on the computer. If you leave everything on the same track and you have like a YouTube video playing or a music playing, it will mix it up and you can't like split the audio and remove just the background noise from the music. So if you have the tracks like this, it's like having a backup for each audio source where you have just that specific audio source here. So that's say like this setting alone has saved me a lot of time. And then you choose which microphone you want to record in. So for me, it's going to be the Shure mic. And then you click on the right side, on the right button. So you click on the right button and you select filters. And inside filters, your panel should look like this without anything. The way that filters work on most audio, applications, and especially inside OBS, is that you will have the order is very important, because the first one will get the clean audio and the next filter will get the audio from the filter above it, and then the next filter will get the audio from the filter above it, and so on. So the not only the filters that I'm going to show you, they are very important, but also the order that you put them in changes everything. So the first effect that we're going to need is a noise suppression. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can use NVIDIA audio effects. If you don't, you can use noise suppression. Let's start with noise suppression. This is very easy. You just have two options here, like good quality with more CPU usage or specs with low CPU usage. I would just recommend the RNN noise, and that's it. For NVIDIA, the one that I use is NVIDIA noise removal and then suppression intensity. My recommendation is for you to test each and every setting for your microphone. I will leave here general guides, but each and every microphone is very, very different from each other. So for my microphone, it works between like 80 and 90, but it depends a lot on the mic. And then the next one, this is not a must, but if you understand a little bit like how your microphone sounds and you want to change the settings a little bit, I would recommend putting a 3-band equalizer. Just to like, for my microphone, I usually add a little bit of highs, and then I'll take a little bit of the mids and then add a little of the lows. That's just how I like my microphone with my voice. This is straight out personal preference. But if you have like usually cheaper microphones, they will have a lot of high and not enough lows. So you can add a little bit in and things like that. You can Google what's the best equalizer for your type of microphone to sound like podcast, things like that. And then you can input it here. And the next one is the expander. And if you want to know what the expander filter does, it makes quiet sounds even quieter and keep loud sounds normal. So if the microphone is too soft, it turns it down. So like background noise, computer fans, air conditioning, things like that. And if the sound is loud enough, like your voice, it let it pass through without changing it too much. So you can think about it like a doorman who only lets loud and clear voices into a party. So what you have to do here is basically the ratio is like adjusting how much you need to go through. So a ratio of 2:1, if the sound is low, like a ratio from 2:1, if you have a background noise like a computer fan, you still hear it, but it's very low. Usually 4:1 is good, and then like 10:1 is like turning down almost everything. As I said, the good thing here is for you to experiment what works for you and your environment. The threshold is how loud something should be to go through. So you want to put in the middle of like what's the background noise and your voice. So if you put it too high, it will cancel out everything that you say. You can see it here. So if I put it right here like 0, it will cancel out everything. So my Shure mic here doesn't even move. So if I slide it here, like now you're listening to my voice, but when I stop talking, everything goes silent. So it depends a lot on your microphone, how loud you speak. And keep in mind, like for example, my microphone, it has a volume setting. So be careful not to set it too high and then change the microphone level, and then you would not be able to hear anything. Attack and release, I would just advise you to leave it at 10 and 50, because attack is how fast it opens up when you start speaking. If like if you put it like this, it will cut a little bit of what you're saying. And if you put it too fast, it keeps it open up. It keeps opening up every single time. So like 10 is good, and release is how long before it cuts everything. So you don't want to release that it's too fast, because when you stop talking, it will cut you out immediately. And normally, when you stop talking, you still have a little bit of sound going through, even though you stop talking, even though you stopped talking. So, like 50 is good. And then the output gain is just to add gain to the microphone if after the expander you lost a little bit of gain, but that's not a necessity. Then we have the compressor. So the compressor is in many ways the opposite of the expander. A compressor makes loud sounds quieter and keeps soft sounds louder. So think about it like smoothing the hills and the valleys of what you're saying to keep the ride not bumpy. So basically here the ratio is kind of the same thing. 10 is too much, 4 is good, 2 is very low. And the threshold, it's the same. It's how long before it cuts what you're saying. But here it's the opposite. So if you put it too high, it will not compress anything. So you need to like make sure that your voice is inside the threshold. And then attack and release, it's the same. Just leave it at 10 and 50 or 10 and 60. That's good. And then the last one, our last line of defense, is a limiter. A limiter is if everything goes wrong and you're still hitting the red one here, this is gonna prevent that you're clipping too hard. So you can put it the limit at like 6 is good. I normally leave it at 4, but that's just personal preference. And then here, even if you like speak very loudly on the microphone, you're still not clipping too hard. So it will protect you from clipping. And yeah, that's it. That's a simple setup for your filters. They will make your microphone sound way better. So the last thing here is you want to make sure that your audio is between -10 and -20. So if you're hitting the red, like you can see here that I'm not hitting it. If I do it like this, it will hit the red. So you want to bring it down a little bit and keep it inside the yellow. So if it's too down like this and it's like -40, it's not good either. But you want to keep it always in the yellow. That's it. That's how you make your microphone sound really good inside OBS. Hope that helps. And if you still have any questions, you can let me know in the comments.